What is up, guys? It's Frelly here, and we're gonna do what if Naruto had Saiki's abilities? Part 4, so I guess we can go. So, the first one, last year of Tough was Naruto saving Obito and changing the future, and he teleported into Kage's office, gone home, and told Naruto that the mission was a success, and it was the next day, and they had a C rank mission. So, a B rank since the Tazuna, the big bridge builder, told Miyato about there's a bounty on his head. So Miyato, just sat down and yeah. So Team 7 came to the Hokage's office and they knocked and Miyato said come in, and they'd come in and Miyato would tell Tazuna to come out, and Tazuna did. When Tazuna came out, so as you can tell, or know where I'm coming from, so he's still going to wear this. I might change it when I'm in Shippuden, so yeah. So this is what Naruto is wearing. So he is wearing, and Tazuna would not make fun of Team 7, but Tazuna would make fun of Sasuke, and no, Miyato would introduce them. He'll say that oh yeah, thanks to Naruto, Sasuke awakened his Tsutomu Sharingan. And Sakura got stronger, and yeah. So Miyato introduced them. He say, hello Tazuna. This is the team that will be escorting you to the bridge. Hatake Kakashi, the Jonin leader of this team, or well known as Kakashi of the Sharingan, or Kakashi of the Sharingan, Kakashi the Copy Ninja, and other names. The girl with the pink hair is Sakura Haruno. She's one of the smartest students in the academy. Next is Sasuke Uchiha. He has awakened his Tsutomu Sharingan and is one of the last survivors of the Uchiha clan. Next is my son, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. He is an S-rank shinobi, and in the bingo book, he's called the Psychic. And he has gone on many missions. As Tazuna would accept this team and they would go. With Kakashi on the front, Sasuke and Sakura on the sides, and Naruto on the back. Once Naruto saw the puddle, he'll just go in front of Kakashi, just take off his glasses and just try to clean them. And when the demon birds came out, he just looked at them and they turned into stone. And he put them back on. And Kakashi said, "What did you do, Naruto?" And Naruto would say that they're obviously after the bridge builder, and he has also mentioned Gato before, so we won't expect much. They're probably hired. As Naruto would just, with his super strength or telekinesis, he'll just smash them into bits. So in the 24 hours, when they turn back, they'll be already dead. So that's it. Naruto would go back to his formation, and when Zabuza drew the Executioner's Blade, Naruto with his, superhuman strength just catched it. That's it. And he knows how much this is worth, so he just opened up a scroll and sealed it in and put it back in his bag. Zabuza said that you're quite strong, kid, and give me back my sword now. As Naruto would say, no. So I guess you're Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the hidden mist. he'll just say telepathically everyone has forced telepathy. Okay? As I would say, I've heard of you. You are in the bingo books too, known as the Psychic, and Hatake Kakashi, the copy ninja, and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the fourth son or better known as the Psychic. I would say, I will have a great I'll have a great amount of cash if I killed you both. So let's try. So Zabuza will charge for Naruto first, and Naruto would tell Kakashi to handle the guy in the Ambu mask, which is Haku. Haku's still a boy, and yeah. So, so Naruto will just, keep on fighting Zabuza and with taijutsu and with his psychic abilities. And when Zabuza tried to do a water style water dragon jutsu, um, Naruto used his water manipulation and sent it back to Zabuza, and he also used water style raging waves. So Zabuza is out for the count. He's knocked out. Naruto, thinking that he might be a good asset to the Leaf, so he let him live. He told Kakashi that they might be a good asset in the Leaf and they might come back, so we should just leave them be. As Kakashi would agree and they would go. Kakashi haven't really using the Sharingan that much, hasn't really passed out. So they would go and they would go to Tatsuna's house. So yeah. So when the kid that says that his father died and he has so much pain, Naruto just talked to him and just told the kid to follow him in telepathy, and he'll just tell him that not it's not just you who suffers. A lot of people do. When I was little, most people in the village considered me as a monster because I had something that I had contained inside me. As the kid would say, what was it? And Naruto would say that it's a tailed beast or a biju, which is known as the nine-tailed fox. They would usually treat me as a monster, but they won't really. But they'll do this behind my back because they know I'm the fourth Hokage's son. If it's quite tough to be honest. And when I had a little curse in mind too. As the kid would ask what was it, Naruto would tell him in telepathy that it's actually it to others it may seem like a blessing, but to me it's a little bit of a curse. As the kid would look confused and ask what was it, Naruto would say that they're his powers, as if you had read the Big Notebook, I'm Naruto Uzumaki no Mikaze, the son of the fourth Hokage, and as known as the Bingo Book as an S-rank shinobi called the Psychic. I basically have powers, and some of them I couldn't really control, like my telepathy. So I had to hear people's thoughts every in a 200-mile radius, and it won't just shut up. Thankfully, I got this ring, which was the Ring of Silence. Thanks to this metal alloy, it'll shut down my telepathy. Next is my X-ray vision. I can't really turn it off. All I can see is skeletons and muscle tissues. That's basically it. The next one is armadillo antennas, and they aren't really antennas. They're just tech. So, because if I would, if without these off, I would accidentally destroy the world. And some of my powers are uncontrollable, so that's basically it. I could never be surprised. I could never be surprised. I will always know everything. which isn't really good to be honest. The next one is a little curse, which means I can't really look at human beings with living things without my glasses, or else they're going to turn to stone. As and he would say that there's also people who've been suffering too. There are a lot of orphans, people who are abused, manipulated, the Jinchurikis that were treated as outcasts. As the kid would realize this, saying that thank you Naruto, I get it now, thanks. As Naruto would give a soft smile and say that we may not always we always every one of us suffers, but what matters is we can help each other through it. Everyone in life suffers, but it's our choice to fight it or not. I forgot what I was about to say. Everyone suffers, not just us. Everyone does. So yeah. And you'd say that it's our choice to help people in need. And help people face their suffering. Because that's what friends do. And that's what also a good person would do. And as the kid would get inspired and say that, thank you, Mr. Naruto, sir. As he would go. So Naruto would walk off and Kakashi would try to train them on chakra control, which Sasuke and Sakura already knew, even Naruto. So yeah. So Kakashi would ask them to, Kakashi would ask them to water walk, which they already know, thanks to Naruto. Which instead they did some little spars to help them with their combat. And Naruto, he just does his early training and every day to check up his power. When they saw him train, they were just rubbing their eyes and seeing a 12-year-old doing this intense training. Remember the training that Saiki does? That is what it's doing. So yeah. Naruto's pretty darn OP. Naruto's power has grown to a big extent. So yeah. Next one was so when the Ravens was almost finished, Naruto also helped too. When Zabuza entered the bridge, they would see Naruto, and Naruto would just hold them up using telekinesis and sat them down, saying that giving them that token no jutsu, and they all agreed to go to the Leaf Village with them. When Gato and his men appeared, Naruto wasted no time, powered up, and yeah. A few of them, their heads are ripped off with telekinesis. A few were slashed with kunais through their throats. The next was a few of them were dismembered from their body parts. No. So, Naruto, not being the messy person he is, he'll just make a ton of kunais and he'll just make himself invisible and he'll just keep on slitting their throats, and to their vision, Naruto is nowhere to be seen and people are randomly dying. But with people with the Sharingan or the Byakugan, they'll see Naruto in a blur, slitting people's necks, and they basically died. Naruto will just bury all the bodies and inform him respect, and yeah. And the last one was Gato. Gato ask Naruto to spare his life, which Naruto would say, "Sign this form and I'll spare your life." As Gato would say, "Sure, sure," as he didn't know what one of the forms said to give all his companies and 70% of the money to the Land of Waves and 30% to other poverty villages such as the Hidden Snow Village. So yeah, as they would do this, and the Land of Waves began to be a pretty good village, which is stable. And the Snow Village got heard of this Naruto kid, and saw that he has actually sent them some money, and the Snow Village think from that large amount of money they actually got pretty big, and was the one of the Grade 5 ninja villages. So yeah, they would go and finish their mission and do their reports back to Fort Hokage, and be right back. I'm sorry for the cut, guys. Now, last where I left off, I think, was the Tazuna arc finishing, and they're doing their report in the office, and yeah. So, Minato would tell them that their Chuli's exams are coming up in 2 weeks. No. Minato would say that Team 7 will now be... Thank you for your report, Kakashi, and Team 7, now you may go. And Naruto, could you please stay here? As Naruto would agree, and they would go. Minato would tell him about the upcoming Chunin exams, and they need to have a meeting with the ninja villages. So, and he asked him if he could come with him, as Naruto would agree. So Naruto would be excused from his, from being in Team 7 for now, and he would go. So the meeting would be with the 5 great ninja villages, and let me just research about them. Okay, so sorry for the cut again. I'm only starting to watch What If, so I'm just making a few of my other arcs. So they'll have a meeting about the tuning exams, and each village would bring their, So the Sand Village would, the Kazekage of the Sand Village would bring Gaara. The Hidden Leaf Village would bring the Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and his son, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. And the other villages would bring their weapons, mostly tailed beasts, their tailed beast. So yeah. So they would go sitting around, and they would notice that. So yeah. So Naruto and Gaara would look at each other, then look away. They would discuss about the tuning exams and whatsoever. And Naruto, with his mind reading, would read the mind of the Kazekage. And Naruto would telepathically tell his dad about the bomb and the Konoha crush, which Minato would ask for a peace treaty, as the Kazekage would be a bit confused, because the Leaf Village is one of the most formidable villages, so yeah. Naruto would ask his father if he could speak. Minato would say yes. And Naruto asked the Kazekage if why did he want to do the Konoha crush, and why did he want to use his own son as a weapon. As the Kazekage was shocked, and he asked, "How did you notice? Have you been spying?" As Naruto would say, "No, I have special abilities, as you may know, or if you may not know, I'm from the bingo books, as called as the psychic. I can basically read your minds, base telekinesis, all sort of things that a psychic could do. So, also super strength. So if you don't want to, and if you don't want to get on my bad side, trust me, you don't want to get on my bad side. If you don't want to get on my bad side, then don't attack the Hidden Leaf Village, because I know you have a hard time doing it. And I might know that you are teaming up with Orochimaru and trying to kill. No, Orochimaru won't do that because he is scared of Minato. So yeah, this is speed. So Naruto would keep on saying his plans, and they were shocked because of this kid knows so much. As the Kazekage would say, "Ah, fine. You already got me in my act. And plus, how are you even his... And what are you, a Haruno? I never really known that. What are you, a Haruno?" As Naruto would say, "No, I'm not a Haruno. I'm a Uzumaki Nanamikaze." As the Kazekaze would ask, "So you're his son?" As Naruto would nod, and he would ask, "Why is your hair different colored?" As Naruto would say, "Genetics." We'll just say, and telepathically, genetics. So yeah. And Naruto would tell everyone if they plan to do war on the leaf, he could easily take out his glasses and turn them to stone, as he would walk away. Going to the other people, the other 5 Jinchurikis, like the cloud had Killer Bee, the sand had Gaara, and so on and so forth. And Naruto would just sit right next to Gaara and say, "Hi, my name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. What about you?" So this is the first time he'd talk in a while, as in a long while. As Gaara did not freak them out, as Gaara would say, "I'm Gaara of the Sand." As as Naruto would say, "Cool. So you're the one that's Jinchuriki, Shukaku." As Gaara would say, "Yeah, I can't get any sleep." As Naruto would say, "I can help you with that. Bing bam boom. Shukaku won't be even annoying you anymore." He's quite talkative and chaotic. As Gaara would say, "Yeah, I know." As Naruto would put a seal on Gaara and say, "Okay, now you can talk to him whenever you want and he won't bother you." As Gaara would say, "Oh, thank you. I can finally have peace and quiet." As Killer Bee would ask, what did he do? As Naruto would say, "It's just a seal. Similar to mine, to be honest. I'm just here for the tuning. I'm just here because of my father, and and so what? So all of you. So they all picked the Jinchurikis, as they would say yes. As not as the other tailed beasts would tell their Jinchurikis that that boy over there has a has a weird aura and is also the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. And for some reason, he feels a bit odd. Question him a little bit more. As as um as Killer Bee would ask him, "What? So I've heard you in the bingo books. You're Naruto Uzumaki no Mikaze, and that intrigued me a little bit. I wonder, how many abilities do you have? Because in the bingo books, it says that you're an S-ranked ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village. That is the fourth Hokage's son, and you have powers of some sort." And they called you the psychic for it. As Naruto would say, "Yeah, that's me. I basically have some powers that are quite relatable to jutsus, but not quite. For example, if I take off my glasses and look at a living thing, they'll immediately turn into stone for 24 hours, and after 24 hours, they'll turn back. I can also I have telekinesis," and he'll just list down a few of his powers, and Kirby would say, "That's amazing." As Naruto would say, "That's not even the... Don't say that." As Kirby would say, "Why?" As Naruto would say, I can't even control this. I have to wear limiters so I won't accidentally destroy the world or the whole village." Kirby was saying why. As Naruto would say, "These internal looking things are just my limiters. If I took..." No, he would just not say anything about himself, and he'll not tell Kogi about his limiters. He'll just say that most of the stuff is true. Killer Bee would say, "Well, I'm Killer Bee." As Naruto would say, "I know. You're the 8,000 Jinchuriki." And yeah. So basically have their little meeting with all the Jinchurikis. The 5 Jinchurikis would just talk, and I don't really know the other 2 great ninja villages, so yeah. So the 5 great ninja villages would have a peace treaty, saying that they will watch each other's backs, can do some trading, and can give some other their shinobis some missions if they're free. So yeah. And this timeline, there's no Akatsuki because Obito was never in charge, and there's no Akatsuki. The Akatsuki never really existed. And the Ototsukis never really wanted to go to Earth in the first place because they felt Naruto's aura, which is really powerful. So they just said, "Nope." So yeah, after they would do this, and after they are done talking, then when the meeting's over, they'll say goodbye and they'll go. Peace treaty between the 5 great ninja villages are settled, and yeah. When they gone back, they said hi to Kushina, and Kushina would say hi back. And yeah. Next part will be the tuning exams, so let's start. So, Sasuke, and Team 7 will be out in the open field, and Kakashi will tell them that the tuning exams are 5 days from now. I mean, about 2 weeks from now. So they better train. As Naruto will agree and say that he'll train by himself, and yeah, Sakura would train because she knows that Naruto is stronger than her and she has to keep up. Because he is legit an S rank shinobi. And she didn't want to be behind in the dust, so she just go. So yeah. So now is the time for the tuning exams, and Naruto learned a lot of new jutsus. It's pretty good to be honest. He learned a few S-strength, he learned a few more jutsus. And he also managed to control, and along those weeks he focused more on controlling his power so that he won't accidentally destroy the world or anything. So Naruto would know a lot of war style jutsus to be honest, and a few like, so he would know three jutsus for light. So Naruto would learn a few. So Naruto would know by now. Naruto would know five five lightning style jutsus, eight water style jutsus, and he would also learn 4 wind style jutsus. And he would know the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the Multi Shadow Clone Jutsu, and the Rasengan. So yeah. And he has also learned how to control his power more, so yeah. When they got there, Naruto dispelled the Genjutsu pretty quickly, and yeah. Now, when they were walking along, they saw the two Sand Shinobi Kankuro picking on Konohamaru and his little brother Menma. Naruto would come up and punch Konohamaru, sending him back a little and telling him telepathically that don't touch my little brother or the third Hokage's grandson. And Kankuro would say that he's a brat who just bumped into me, as Naruto would talk in telepathy and Naruto would sense Gaara and he'll wave at him and Gaara would wave back and he'll jump down and say, "Oh, hey Naruto, I apologize for my brother." Naruto would say it's fine, and Kankuro would say, "Gaara, you and this kid know each other?" As Gaara would say, Yes, Kankuro. We met in the meeting. It's actually the cell of the fourth Hokage. And we also had a peace treaty with the other 5 great ninja villages. So we had to keep that peace in order. As Kankuro would agree, and Temari would say, Gaara! And Kankuro remembered something, and he'd say, "Wait, you have friends?" As Gaara would say, "Of course I do. I do have a friend." As Gaara and Naruto in Team 7, and Naruto would go up to his little brother, and so his little brother is 6. Wait, no. So I think the tuning exams start after a year, so I think they're now 13, and yeah. Naruto still wears sort of the same outfit. So they're now 13. They've been gangs for a year and now they're 13. And Naruto's little brother, Menma, is 7 years old, and Konohamaru is, I think, 9 or 10. I don't really know. I mean 8 or 9. So yeah. Naruto would tell them to go play and they would do so. They would go in and they would dispel the genjutsu quickly, and the first task was a how should I say this? Oh yeah. The written part of the test. So they would do this, and Naruto would get into Sasuke's and Sakura's mind, saying that he'll tell them the answers and it'll be really quick. So Naruto would tell them the answers, and the last question, he'd say the answer is Minato no Mikase, as they would do so, as they would write it in. And after 2 minutes, basically a minute afterwards, I mean, 45 seconds later, yes, they're really quick in writing, so yeah. 45 minutes later, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke got up and passed their test, and they're wondering how did they cheat, and they just remembered Naruto has telepathy, and yeah, that sucks. And Naruto's also genius, so they put them on one of the team's quickest and highest scores. So they beat Minato and Itachi's score, and yeah. As a team this time. So that's basically it, and now we'll go to the Forest of Death. Anka would do her little opening and see that Naruto wasn't, and she would explain the Forest of Death, and she saw that Naruto wasn't really paying attention, so she would throw the kunai. Naruto would just use his telekinesis and send it back at Anko, and Anko would barely dodge, and yeah. Anko would explain the Forest of Death, and they would go. Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura would just go to the Forest of Death, and Naruto would just put his eyes crossed together, and he'll ask Sasuke and Sakura to cover for him, and just boop him on the nose, or just tap him on the shoulder if there's danger up. As Naruto would just put his eyes together, and in the way that Saiki does it to track his stuff. So they got the Earth Scroll, they just need the Heaven Scroll, and Naruto found the Heaven Scroll with another team, and Naruto just teleported Sakura and Sasuke to there, and yeah, they basically beat the team, and Naruto and they got the scroll, and they just teleported out of there, and yeah, they gone to the tower, and they'll go. Orochimaru tried to attack, but Naruto was too fast. So yeah, and Orochimaru didn't really want to go and charge because he's afraid of the fourth Hokage because of his speed and yeah. So they would go and pass, and after a while they gone back, and Naruto was waiting for Gaara's team, and when Gaara came, Naruto would wave at Gaara would wave back, and Temari and Kankuro were pretty happy because Gaara finally has a friend. Naruto and Team 7 and his little brother and Konohamaru would just hang out with Gaara and his siblings. So yeah. After a little while, they'd go back to the training exams, and first was the 1v1 matches. Each of the matches would go in canon, and Sakura versus Ino. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Lee incident. Basically, Lee challenged Naruto, and Naruto just pummeled him. just dodged and neck chopped him in the neck, just like Killua did. So yeah. So Naruto's match would be against Kiba, and Kiba would tell him that he will be Hokage and he'll beat him. Which Naruto was like, sure, go ahead. As Kiba would go to Akamaru, and Akamaru would go to his beast form. As Naruto would just split them before they even started and neck chop Kiba in the neck and Okamaru, since he didn't really want to waste any time. So yeah, our matches would go the same, and Sakura's match, she actually won fairly easy to Ino, because she had an infinity for Genjutsu, you already know, so she practiced Genjutsu. It's like mid-tuning level, high tuning level, I think, thanks to Naruto. And Sasuke unlocked his Tomoe Sharingan. So yeah. And Sasuke was actually getting acknowledged for it from his dad, saying that his team and him beat Itachi's score and he unlocked the Tomoe. And yeah. When Neji was about to hit Hinata, Naruto just came up and saved Hinata from Neji. And then the Gaara versus Lee fight, Gaara still wins, but in a less brutal way. So, the training exams would start in another month, and that's basically it, guys. That's where we're going to end it off. Make sure you like and subscribe. This is Rafaeli signing off. 3, 2, 1, bye! It's Rafaeli signing off. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go to my description for my new Discord. And don't worry, this won't expire this time, so we can actually talk. So, this is Rafaeli signing off. Bye!